1. When developing training content for the Oklahoma Legal and Ethical Responsibilities exam, which principle best ensures adult learners stay engaged? A. Using rote memorization drills. B. Emphasizing real-world case scenarios. C. Providing lengthy legal texts. Avoiding opportunities for discussion. 2. Which of the following best demonstrates formative evaluation during a training program? A. Final written exam at the end of the course. B. Mid-course feedback survey from learners. C. Annual compliance audit by the state. D. Certification renewal examination. 3. In curriculum development for compliance training, which component should be aligned first? A. Instructional media. E. Evaluation methods. C. Learning objectives. D. Discussion activities. 4. An instructor leading a session on confidentiality laws emphasizes active questioning by participants. This approach best represents A. Pedagogy. E. Andragogy. C. Content analysis. D. Regulatory review. 5. Oklahoma regulations require trainers to maintain accurate records of completion. What is the ethical reason for this? A. To ensure learner attendance can be verified for credit. B. To save time during audits. C. To create marketing data. D. To avoid course repetition. 6. Which is the most effective method for mentoring new educators preparing candidates for the exam? A. Assigning passive observation of lectures. B. Encouraging independent study with no oversight. C. Providing guided practice with constructive feedback. D. Requiring memorization of statutes. 7. Which adult learning principle supports allowing learners to reflect on their own professional experiences during compliance training? A. Problem-centered learning. B. Teacher-centered instruction. C. Content-driven delivery. D. Directed assessment. 8. If an educator intentionally omits new changes to Oklahoma statutes in training, this violates which ethical responsibility? A. Fair use doctrine. E. Duty of professional competence. C. Right of refusal. D. Curriculum neutrality. 9. A curriculum designer includes small group discussions to address ethical dilemmas in practice. This method primarily strengthens A. Procedural compliance. B. Reflective learning. C. Silent memorization. D. Summative assessment. 10. What is the best way to measure whether training participants can apply Oklahoma confidentiality laws in practice? A. Multiple choice recall quiz. B. Short essay on definitions. C. Scenario-based role-play assessments. D. Attendance record review. 11. Which principle is most important when communicating complex legal updates to adult learners? A. Use of technical jargon to demonstrate authority. B. Simplification through clear language and examples. C. Avoidance of learner participation. D. Reliance only on written statutes. 12. If a trainer consistently ignores learner feedback, this undermines which evaluation process? A. Diagnostic. B. Formative. C. Summative. D. Normative. 13. A mentor helps a new instructor identify bias in their case examples. This demonstrates A. Regulatory compliance. B. Ethical mentoring practice. C. Curriculum redundancy. D. Assessment neutrality. 14. Which strategy ensures fairness in exam preparation courses? A. Providing equal access to updated materials for all learners. E. Limiting resources to advanced students only. C. Tailoring information only to test takers with prior experience. D. Withholding practice assessments to prevent over-preparation. 15. When documenting learner progress, which ethical principle is most at stake? A. Confidentiality. B. Advocacy. C. Creativity. D. Entertainment. 16. Which of the following is most consistent with Oklahoma's expectation of professional responsibility in instruction? A. Delivering outdated training as long as learners do not complain. B. Ensuring accurate and current legal content is provided. C. Encouraging learners to study independently without guidance. D. Offering informal interpretations instead of factual laws. 17. In adult learning theory, what motivates learners the most during compliance training? A. Fear of failure. B. Relevance to their professional roles. C. Lengthy written materials. D. Abstract legal terminology. 18. A program evaluation focused on how learners are applying ethical decision-making on the job is best categorized as A. Process evaluation. E. Outcome evaluation. C. Diagnostic evaluation. D. Predictive evaluation. 19. Which instructional technique most effectively encourages critical thinking about legal dilemmas? A. Memorization of statutes. B. Lecture with no discussion. C. Case study analysis. D. Silent reading. 20. An instructor is required to report suspected misconduct during a training session. This responsibility aligns most with A. Ethical obligation to learners. E. Professional integrity and compliance. C. Peer-to-peer mentoring duty. D. Adult learning motivation theory. 21. What is the primary purpose of aligning curriculum objectives with assessment methods? A. To ensure accountability in meeting intended outcomes. B. To reduce the number of exam questions. C. To make courses shorter and less costly. D. To increase instructor flexibility. 22. Which form of communication is most effective when addressing sensitive ethical issues? A. Using closed, one-directional statements. B. Encouraging open dialogue with respect. Avoiding the topic entirely. D. Delivering content only in written format. 23. Oklahoma regulatory compliance in training programs emphasizes A. Entertainment over accuracy. B. Accuracy, integrity, and transparency. C. Prioritizing speed over thoroughness. D. Excluding learners from participation. 24. Which mentoring technique promotes the professional growth of a new trainer? Withholding constructive criticism. B. Encouraging reflective practice and self-assessment. C. Assigning excessive administrative tasks. D. Avoiding discussions about weaknesses. 25. In adult learning, which principle supports the use of practical, problem-based exercises? A. Self-direction. B. Authority-driven learning. C. Memorization. D. Abstract analysis. 26. A training program that fails to accommodate learner feedback on accessibility violates which responsibility? Ethical inclusion. B. Assessment reliability. C. Legal neutrality. D. Objective alignment. 27. Summative evaluation and exam preparation training is best represented by A. End of course certification test. B. Pre-training needs assessment. C. Ongoing group discussions. D. Mid-course peer review. 28. Which instructional design choice ensures curriculum relevance? A. Integrating updated Oklahoma case examples. B. Avoiding real-world applications. C. Relying solely on outdated materials. D. Repeating irrelevant exercises. 29. Ethical mentoring requires a focus on A. Confidentiality and trust. B. Competitive exclusion. C. Hierarchical control. D. Withholding resources. 30. Which of the following most effectively fosters adult learner motivation in compliance training? A. Explaining how legal knowledge impacts professional practice. B. Limiting opportunities for application. C. Using abstract theory only. D. Avoiding interactive elements. 31. A compliance trainer ensures assessments are free from bias. This demonstrates commitment to A. Equity and fairness. E. Instructional speed. C. Entertainment value. D. Minimal regulation. 32. Which of the following best ensures that communication in training sessions is ethical? A. Sharing only partial truths. B. Providing accurate, clear, and complete information. C. Using fear tactics. D. Avoiding learner questions. 33. When assessing adult learners' mastery of Oklahoma ethical requirements, the best evaluation tool is A. Situational judgment tests. B. Randomized guess-based quizzes. C. Timed memorization drills. D. Vocabulary recitation. 34. The ethical obligation to provide equal learning opportunities primarily relates to A. Professional fairness. B. Financial interest. C. Institutional prestige. D. Assessment convenience. 35. An instructor provides immediate feedback to clarify misunderstandings during training. This represents A. Formative assessment. B. Summative evaluation. C. Post-course audit. G. Delayed regulatory review.